Also, I'm being joined by vVv Viva for the night. How are you, Viva?
Doing all right. How are you doing today?
Pretty good. I mean, just sort of getting ready, doing stream stuff, trying to make it good for everybody.
I hear ya.
That being said, we're into game one. First band coming out. It's gonna be Vayne, aimed at Spike, who we haven't actually been playing Vayne a lot lately.
Yeah, surprisingly, he's actually been playing support quite a bit, and when he does get 80 carry, he doesn't even get the chance.
Yeah, so I'm wondering what the purple team's gonna ban out, and it looks like they skip a ban. I'm wondering if that's going to be a plan, if that's what they want to do, but it seems a bit odd.
We will see.
Just changing up the overlay a little bit there, guys. It is going to be Alpha versus Foxtrot for the first match of the night. Morgana being the second ban there. Purple team going down to the wire once again. Bans out the Shaco versus Kanark. Kanark is that Shaco main that they don't want to give to.
Yeah, definitely a good idea.
And then Janna for the last ban. She's definitely been seeing a lot more play recently. I mean, that shield is just so good. It's a free BF sword once it gets to max level, and she's basically the queen of disengage right now. And no third ban from the purple team. They really decided they just didn't want Shaco, I guess.
Yeah. It's a big slap in the face to Knark.
Yeah, so there's a lot of options here for blue team. I mean, they can send Kanark into the jungle still. He has Warwick. He has... I can't remember his other cheese champion, but that Warwick is still available. We saw him get a quadra kill a couple weeks ago on that Warwick.
Granted, it wasn't Adoption Noob Night, but I'm pretty sure he can pull it off here if he wanted to.
Yeah, I mean, or we could see Udyr for the JC. But JC has been playing a lot more of a support player pool, but he locks in that Tristana for his 80 carry. Spike is telling me that there were bans, they just decided not to actually ban them for some reason. Unless it's a spectator bug. It could be a spectator bug. The bans are Shaco, Aurelia, and Lucian. Whether we can't see those. So the Aurelia ban gonna be aimed at Shy Slushy, as we always see. Lucian banning out just because he's a strong champion. He is probably the strongest 80 carry right now, and to ban that away is a real big thing.
Yeah, from what I've seen, Lucian is never an 80 carries that like main champion to play. Everyone just knows how to play him well.
Yeah, I mean, he's just super strong. I mean, the dash on cooldown, the piercing light, which gets a really high damage output once you start picking up an item or two.
Sick new Wukong splash art comes out.
Yeah, I'm actually really glad they changed it to give him the darker hair and the marks under his eye. The one before that was actually very underwhelming to me. His face looked very flat and just dull.
Yeah, I'll definitely agree there. He looked like he came out of Build-A-Bear in the last one.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good change. There's lots of new splash arts, as we see with the Tristana also, and it's just very great to see all those coming around. American flag, hovering that Leona, who he's played a lot of. He does very well on that champion, and he's going to be going into Nami, who if she can miss that bubble pre-6, doesn't have a lot of disengage.
Yeah, and Leona's just going to be right on top of that if there's a missed bubble.
And the Jarvan pick coming in for Kanark. Also a champion that's been seeing a lot of play recently. He has sort of floated back to the top of the champion pool with some small nerfs to the other junglers, and his knock-up Cataclysm is just both very useful when it comes to dispersion and just team control.
Yeah, Jarvan's a champion that junglers never like forget about. He's just been overshadowed by other really strong picks, but he's always been a pretty strong one, and now that people got nerfed, he's seen a lot of playtime.
vVv hovering that Teemo, and I don't believe he played it last time he was on stream. I believe he played Aurelia into Maokai. However, he locks in that Gnar, who's very oppressive in that top lane.
We see a Ziggs come out for the second time in stream in the last couple of days.
You mean every time we stream Rising Dawn? But he's not actually on the team this time. So I believe it's going to stay on Chuba. And the counter pick coming in is that Xerath. Both of them are just going to clear waves all day long, and it's going to be very difficult for Xerath to kill the Ziggs without help from Jarvan.
Yeah, unless he's just really bad at dodging Xerath Qs, it's going to be a pretty boring lane overall.
Switching to the Kassadin, however, that's going to be an interesting move if he takes that. However, Shy Slushy, they didn't ban out his Aurelia, so he does still have his secondary champion available. And going into Gnar is not the worst pick.
Nope, Aurelia is banned. We
Yes.
just can't see it.
Yeah. Conflicting stories on the Aurelia ban. I'm just going to stick with it. However, Shy Slushy locks in that Rise, who we didn't see him perform that well on last time we spectated this.
Yep.
And then
But against a Gnar,
And then against Gnar, it's going to be very interesting. Gnar's very squishy when he's not in Mega Gnar for those first couple levels. And it's just going to be an odd matchup. There's lots of range that's going to be coming out from the Boomerang that can probably try and snipe off Shy's health. But he's going to have to be able to really on point with those. And then Spike locks in that Ezreal. Wants to have a lot of mobility to dodge out those Zenith Blades.
and I really like the Ezreal pick, because even if he gets hit by a Zenith Blade, if he's quick enough, which I'm pretty sure Spike probably is, he can Arcane Shift out of it before the shield Q hits him.
I mean, the Q still lands and you get stunned at the end of your jump, but you're
Yeah,
still,
but
at that point,
way
you're far
better
enough
than-
away.
Yep.
So that's going to be an interesting matchup. Really excited to see how this bot lane stacks up. JC on that Tristana, American Flag on the Leona, going against a Ryze and Spike in that bot lane. It's very interesting to see, because typically we see a Ryze on JC's team, but she keeps getting first picked away, and it's definitely been some good volatile matches we've seen because of it.
Yeah, Ryze has definitely proven that she's a really competitive player over the past couple of seasons. Overall, looking at these team comps though, I really like what Purple Team has put out. They have really good engage with the Gnar Mega Ulti and with Wukong Cyclone. And then they have pretty good peel with that Nami and really good AoE damage overall.
Yeah, lots of disengage and re-engage actually. If they can get a good tidal wave off and slow down the advance of Leona, that should be a good time to Cyclone up on the Wukong and then combine it with Bubbles and Gnar and just the amount of AoE that Purple Team has.
Yeah, and then you just have that wombo combo with the Mega Inferno Bomb and the Ezreal ultimate, and that's just going to be pretty deadly for that blue team.
I mean, yeah, Blue Team has some mobility in their carries, in the Tristana Rocket Jump Buster Shot, in the Rift Walks. I mean, even Canark's going to have some mobility options there. But Shy Slushy is going to be very immobile. Same with the American Flag. Neither of them really have a quick escape button. Ryze does have some extra move speed from his ultimate, but it's nothing really exorbitant. It's going to be hard to run away from the team of Purple. I mean, like I said, they have so much knock-up and so much CC abilities.
Yeah. Overall, I think I'm gonna give this game to the purple team just because I think wombo combos beat everything, even though I'm, a pleb. And I'm gonna give it to them because I love their team comp.
I mean, yeah, I love that bot lane of Ezreal Nami. Ezreal's always been one of my more favorite AD carries. He's a lot of fun to play, lots of stuff to do, and it's a little bit different than any other AD carry, I would say. Last seconds of the spectator delay. What are you thinking that we're gonna see for skins?
Ooh, I'm gonna go with, I don't know, Chuba, don't let me down. I want to see a Snow Day Ziggs this game.
It is getting towards that time of year. It is already super cold up by me. It should start snowing almost any day now. So I'm hoping we can start seeing the Christmas skins start to come out.
Hopefully. I'm also hoping to see that River Spirit Nami because it's the best skin ever invented.
Yeah, definitely her best skin. I want to see Dinonar because it's fun to throw houses, but his base skin is also very good to see. And then Ezreal could be anything. I mean, all of his skins.
I'm hoping for a TPA. TPA Ezreal is always nice.
TPA Ezreal is always nice, but I just wish that they gave him a red Mystic Shot. It just seems to fit so much better.
I wish they gave him red hair, like the splash art shows.
That would be also pretty good too.
Going to loading screen, let's see what we get. Didn't even talk about blue team.
Yeah, we didn't. Pool Party Leona, we always call it and we almost never get it right. Rocket Girl Tristana, a victorious Jarvan. How fitting with the season ending in just a couple days. Pre-Void Kassadin, pretty good. And then Dark Crystal Rise, it's a different skin. It used to have a smaller model than his base skin, so it's interesting to see that.
Of course, Makoto and Spike are going to be losers and not run skins, but show off the new splash arts.
Yeah, Spike and Makoto, as you said. And like I said, that's a good splash art for Wukong now. Ezreal's a bit odd. He looks kind of like the Vayne splash art, where it's like a throwback, or fade away, and it's still not a bad skin.
Maybe Vayne is Ezreal in drag.
That's all possible. And then the Mad Scientist Ziggs, definitely a good skin. I like it, just throwing vials everywhere. It's definitely fun to watch.
And it looks like we both at least got one right this time with the River Spirit Nami and that Dino Gnar.
I mean, dude, houses. It's just so much fun.
I mean, if I was a Rise, I would just spam the heck out of that recall and annoy Spike forever.
Come on, man, I'm trying to farm. No, I'm trying to back. Deal with it.
Trying to sing, man.
Right? And if that always fails, you can just taunt, laugh, and then watch as your enemies cry.
Yeah, Nami is the best champion ever for trolling with emotes.
Used to be Singed, but they took that away. However, hopefully we'll start seeing Singed again. He did get some small rework buffs. Hopefully we'll be seeing a lot more of him.
You know, I actually tried playing him after that rework. He's... It's pretty difficult to land people into that goo.
Oh, definitely. I would imagine people are trying to avoid it. Everyone's hitting 100% into game. Give it a couple seconds for the spectator delay to catch up, and then we should be all set to go. Just going to take this time to change the champions around.
Agreed.
Everybody's caught up. Gonna start buying items any second now. And we see once again Shy Slushy choosing not to go biscuits. It's not something we typically see from Rise players, because it's extra mana that you can use to harass with, and it's just so useful.
Yeah, and we actually also see that Rise takes the Ignite while the Kassadin takes Teleport this game, so it's inverted from that top to bot lane.
Which is very odd, because Kassadin is such a mobile champ that he shouldn't have an issue rift walking down to the bot lane at any point. Having that teleport is going to allow him to get some flashy plays, but it also strands that Rise in the top lane. So dragon fights should be going to red team pretty much the entire game.
Yeah, for a split second I thought maybe Slushy was going mid with that Rise, because it'd be easier for him to get around without the teleport in mid lane. But it looks like it's just a standard setup with him in top.
We see Kassadin picking that flask, wants some extra sustain against this Ziggs, who's just going to be auto-attacking him all day. And the magic shield should do well if he can proc it instead of getting bouncing bombed.
The swag flag comes down.
And 1 second, guys. Lots of damage coming down onto vVv, forced to flash. Mumble actually disconnected. Hopefully everybody will come back. It was a big mass disconnect. Diva's back now, so hopefully everything can get underway.
Yeah, it looks like everyone is currently back now.
Gnar being forced back super early decides not to teleport to the top lane just yet.
I'm excited for this Kassadin though, I haven't seen him in a long time.
Kassadin is definitely one of my more favorite champions in the mid lane. Just so much mobility and so many ways to build him actually. There's just so many options you have as a Kassadin player.
Slushy decides he'd love to play a little bit of Boomerang.
Hitting that level 2 first and still trading about even health-wise.
I'm interested to see if Slushy's gonna start using his Q before he goes in for the combo. I remember last time he'd initiate with his W first, so I want to see if he changes that up this time.
I mean, it does get the lower cooldown when you start with Q. However, he's getting just as much damage down as he needs with just that WQ combo. But he's running through a lot of mana, which is where that biscuit would sort of come in.
Yeah, it doesn't give you too much mana back, but it all helps.
Gank, Canark comes into the mid lane, just gets a saddle charge for his issues. vVv going in, only level 2. Ignite's coming down onto both people. Actually, I thought Gnar had teleport, I was wrong. But the flash auto attack from the Rise is going to pick up that first kill. And that lane's going to be very troublesome now.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty worth for him.
Rise did get a slight early game nerf, but if he can get items, it shouldn't be that big of a deal. Red buff down onto Shy Slushy, who's out of mana. He has Canart coming in, but I think it's not going to be in time. The extended range on the Crushing Blow is going to pick up that kill. This bot lane's very interesting because not a lot going on.
Yeah, and top lane's actually gonna, even though he just died, it's gonna run a little bit better for Shy Slushy now that he was able to pick up his tier quite early.
A tier and another mana crystal, so he is going to be trying to lane bully a lot more with that bonus mana damage. And Gnar actually didn't get anything of value when he died. He got a ward and some health potions. So he has 0 combat effectiveness compared to Shy Slushy.
Yeah. These Mystic shots have been hitting JC almost every time.
Yeah, and with Leona a 0 sustained support, not even having a relic shield, he's already burned his health potion now. So once that's done, he's gonna have to really worry about these poke damage. He has Canark in the wings though. He could try something, even with all these minions here. Gets spotted by a ward, but Arise could be in trouble. Flash Zenith Blade lands. Arise getting stunned up, goes down. Tristana not even involved on that though. Spike going kinda low. Gonna force him back, but now JC's eating a lot of minion damage. Stun lands on a Shy Slushy. Eat a house. putting lots of damage on both ways. Neither ignite is up. The house misses, and that's a lot of burst damage going to waste. Stun coming out. However, Ruin Prison also lands. Canark in the middle gets a flash. It was a good flash from Chuba though. Zenith Blade lands on a spike. Shield of Daybreak not gonna land.
Spike is doing a lot this early game. He said, "You don't give me my Shaco? Fine, I'll pick Jarvan and kill all your lanes anyway."
Yeah, I mean, Canark obviously isn't a one-trick pony on that Shaco. He does have other options, and he's shown it here. Even though you still got to ban that Shaco, it would be disastrous for him to get it. Ultimate coming out of Shy Slushy. Big B Wolf not even close yet. Trying to bounce. Doesn't get the second one, though. Canark's in that top lane, but he's on wards. Void Energy putting down lots of damage on the Makoto Senpai.
I wonder if he gets a personal buff when he plays Champions from the Void.
Can only hope. However, Canark finds him and forces him out with the flash. And this is the boomerang poke we were talking about. He's only getting that one proc down, but it's slowing the advance.
And Slushy can't do anything about it since he has no mana.
0 mana. Ignite's coming out on both sides, but Big B's going to pick up that kill. He misses the boomerang, so it's going to be very hard to dodge out Canark now. The flash, counter flash, going to pick up that kill with an auto attack. This bot lane's still not very volatile. Blue team hasn't based, however, JC eats a bubble. JC has to base. Even with this big wave coming up, he is in a lot of danger of dying here.
But he really wants that cannon.
Yeah, I mean, that explosive shot can do a lot of work in clearing waves pretty quickly. Spike really wants this kill, though. He's just hiding in a bush.
Yeah, I'd actually be surprised if either Spike or JC died, like, before 30 minutes, just because of the players they are.
Spike also being on a very safe champion. Typically we see him on a Caitlyn, on a Vayne, who just very in your face. That Arcane Barrage not doing enough to pick up the kill, and JC is just going to rocket jump away in base. And then mid lane still farming away. But Kassadin has double Chuba's CS. Lots of damage.
But he goes in and completely misses his W.
E.
His E, yeah, his force pulse. He totally
Makoto Senpai gets the Cyclone down. The third proc from Big B Wolf gets the bounce off of his own teammate and is going to finish that up with an auto attack. Really nicely ganked by Makoto Senpai there. Void Energy doing really well on his mana. He's not going with these engages. He's not just blowing all of his mana trying to farm. And he's still...
He's beating that Ziggs in CS by a decent amount. By about 30.
Yeah, we don't typically see that, especially once Ziggs get that chalice. He shouldn't have to worry about mana so much, and he can just wave clear the back line all day long. Makoto Senpai putting a ward down in that bush. Gets pinged out, or pinging out the ward in that river bush. Yeah. Checks the blue buff, thinking Canark's not on top of his bushes. And even
He's
though...
just chilling with a ghost.
Yeah, that was pinged out, but he's still going to stand on it anyway.
It's going to be really hard for him to gank that Kassadin.
Especially without that Cyclone ultimate. Canark was also standing on a ward, but he sweeps it out and is just going to move on with his day. Big B still taking lots of poke, even with Makoto Senpai here. This could be a bit early. He gets the Gnar ultimate off, but the teleport coming in from Kassadin. Shy Slushy's probably going to go down. Runs to the opposite side. Cyclone going down onto Void Energy. Canard gets a nice two-man knockup. The Mega Inferno Bomb coming down, not going to hit anybody. Makoto Senpai goes down to the slow from Kassadin. Stun lands on a Canark, and now Chuba's in the area. The house is going to miss. Knockup gets disrupted by the Satchel Charge. Ignite down, double Ignite down on a Canark. They want to get this kill, but Big B Wolf's going to go down to Void Energy. Canark's still alive. The Bouncing Bomb's going to miss, and with red buff now onto Void Energy, this is going to be a dead Chuba.
They maybe could have gotten the kill if the Gnar actually stunned him against the top wall, but it was just short of stunning him.
I was actually expecting him to go with the W stun and not directly to the Gnar. That being said, that was beautifully played by both Canark and Shy Slushy in that top lane. Mark going in and out of that fight, just staying barely alive. American Flag hits 6, just going on a rise. They just want to kill it. The bubble lands onto American Flag, but now Spike gets ignited. This flare, Solar Flare is going to miss, but now Rocket Jump's going to slow him down a little bit. Lots of damage from both AD carriers. Gets the heal from both of them. Shield of Daybreak and the Buster Shot going to land, and that's a double kill for JC. And
Yeah,
that was the aggression.
Spike has to say from that is he got both of their flashes, so he knows exactly when the blue side has their flashes up now.
True. The scary part now is that the carries, the Kassadin and the Tristana, are both sitting on good amounts of gold from either double kills or like just being in the area. It's gonna be very scary for Red Team. I mean, Rise being 1-3-3, it's not going to matter that much when you have a 3-0 Kassadin, when you have a 2-0 Tristana. He's going to be given that time to scale.
And even if he doesn't, Kassadin and Tristana are scaling champions on their own that'll do it themselves.
Canark gets bubbled up, but no real damage here. Chuba doesn't even have an Unholy Grail, just sitting on that Chalice.
Yeah, and he doesn't even finish his first item before he fully builds his boots. So he's pretty lacking right now.
Lots of damage from Shy Slushy, having only that tier Catalyst blasting one. Big B's just can't really deal with it.
Slushy is definitely eating way more boomerangs than he wants to, though.
Yeah, I mean, he pops the ultimate, gets the Hexdrinker proc, Ignite's going down on both of them. The double bounce Gnar, though, going to throw him into the wall and pick up that kill.
Yeah, that was a pretty flashy play out of Gnar. That was pretty cool.
I was unaware you could Gnar while in midair. That was brilliant.
Yeah, I did not know either until this moment, and it was pretty mind-boggling, and now I'm going to play Gnar in Ranked.
I mean, Gnar's free low anyway. You should have been doing that before. Lots of damage coming down on Chuba, getting down to half health, but he has blue buff. Bubble lands onto JC. Zen's Blade lands onto two members. The Tidal Wave, though, stops everything. JC Buster Shots a rise away. Cyclone down onto Canark. Super Inferno Bomb not going to hit anybody. However, Void Energy getting lots of damage. The kill goes over to Makoto Senpai, but gets the revenge kill.
Yeah, Makoto was kind of eating turret shots when he didn't need to. He could have just taken another step backwards and he wouldn't have taken as many shots. And that bot fight shows the power of that Nami Ezreal ult combo. They took so much damage.
And they've actually lost that trade with no real sustain outside of potions, like no Vamp Scepter, no healing abilities. Nami's already almost back to full health, and she had almost died, and that's just from her W. And JC still not dodging these Mystic Shots. See Big B putting down lots of damage. The ultimate coming out of Shy Slushy. Ignite going down, and that's a dead rise. And neither team going for this dragon. I can't help but think it's because this bot lane just isn't that volatile. They're not picking up as many kills as one would think.
And that Rise needs to build a little bit of defense before he can go and 1v1 a Gnar.
I would really hope he can finish that Roa really soon so he can start scaling. because right now it's just 2 random items in his inventory that aren't really doing that much for him.
Makoto gets spotted by that ward, so they know.
They could tower dive, though. I mean, they have the Cyclone available. They almost have the Tidal Wave available. And of course, the True Shot Barrage, as always, is available.
So Void actually is really comfortable on this Kassadin, but every time we pan over to him, he's always missing that Force Pulse onto that Ziggs when he goes in with Riftwalk.
Yeah, and that could just be a simple thing of him trying to get the most damage out of both abilities and wants to land right in the middle on that Riftwalk. Yeah, Tristana only being down about 17 CS. This is probably the best case scenario for JC. Teleport coming in, Bubble lands onto Arise, but so did the Shield of Daybreak. Canard gets popped up by the Cyclone, but the Solar Flare lands directly onto Arise, and now everybody's trapped in this Cataclysm. Ignite onto Jarvan's going to pick up that kill. However, Kassadin is picking up a kill onto Makoto Senpai, and then Tristana is going to pick up that kill onto the Ezreal. Big B gets stopped by that Rune Prison, lands the house, however. Does he want this? I don't think he does.
Yeah, if that Leona is able to get in to the fight, it just shows how well she complements a mobile champion.
And again, no dragon. However, double buff onto Void Energy. Gonna be able to pick up this kill. Ignite went down, which is very actually odd of Ziggs to even have Ignite. Not even gonna pick up the kill. Now Gnar wants some of it coming down, but I don't think he's gonna catch him. Shy Slushy though, still not quite where he wants to be. This is a dive potential. If he can land a boomerang, oh, the flash is gonna save him. It's a very nice flash from Shy Slushy to keep him alive.
Yeah, that Gnar is starting to hurt really bad.
And we finally see a dragon starting up from the red team. No wards from blue team even in the area. That could be a free dragon. And it is.
Yeah, very uneventful. Blue team just realizes it, and well, now they know that dragon's gone.
Void Energy finds a pink ward just for a slow walk. But we see Trist, having finished her Infinity Edge, is really going to start hurting now.
And Ezreal has a Triforce first item. Pretty, not too much standard anymore, but still very effective on that champion.
Yeah, he's going to have a nice mid game. However, it's going to be equal to the Tristana, I would say. She's going to be able to get that static shift very quickly now that she has the Average Blade, and it's going to start stacking up some gold. Shy Slushy doesn't have flash. He could go down here. Pause is going to come out, however.
The pause comes out of JC. He's apparently having some lag issues.
I mean, 3-0-2, lag would probably be the only thing that could stop him at this point. I mean, Tristana's got that Infinity Edge, got that Average Blade, critting everywhere, and it's going to be very difficult for Red Team to stop her.
And even if she goes down, that 6-1 and 2 Kassadin before 20 minutes, that's going to be kind of scary the further the game goes on.
Yeah, I mean, looking at the item builds for Red Team, we see Gnar with a Hex Drinker, a Spectre's Cowl, a Giant's Belt, and a double Doran's Blades. He's building for his lane, but this Tristana's going to rip right through him. And then the Wukong, getting the Brutalizer, he wants to be doing lots of damage, but again, 0 resistances. Everybody's going to rip through him. Ignite onto Shy Slushy. He's going to go down. Very unfortunate for him.
Yeah, they need to find a way to get Slushy back in the game, because right now he's really just not doing so hot, and the rest of his team is doing pretty well. So I don't know if Knark wants to focus on getting him back in the game or just snowball the other lanes more?
I mean, Gnar can become a real threat late game, but having built 0 damage, Leona's not going to have to worry about him. This Caston is not really going to have to worry about him that much with Roa and I'm presuming another defensive item down the road. So I think Gnar's free to just farm up and try and be as useful in other lanes as he can be. And this Ziggs is just all over the map looking at his build. He has an arm guard, boots, a chalice, and an amp tome. Very spread out, not quite sure what he's trying to finish there. Big B Wolf gets ignited a bit early by Shy Slushy, just trying to get him off that tower, but too late.
Yeah, it's definitely one thing that's really interesting to see when people have components for like 3 different items and a full set of boots, and you're like, okay, you don't do damage.
Yeah, I mean, we keep seeing in this mid lane, Kassadin can do whatever he wants, and while small, he still maintains that gold lead. Tristana's really starting to close that gap in the CS down in that bottom lane too. See Rise trying to get cheeky. The Trinket Ward times out. Canark misses the knock-up onto Spike, but he forces him off the minions. It's still
Not too much happening.
Still a very odd thought that Kassadin is out CSing the Ziggs, who's known as one of the best farming champions in the game, probably next to Orianna. Mikoto Senpai is coming into this bot lane, no ward in that bush. Spike may want to eat a Zenith Blade here just to try and get them into the engage. Another pause. I'm thinking it's going to be JC.
It certainly is. Not sure if he's still having lag issues. It looks like he is indeed having lag issues. He had to restart his modem.
So just take a couple seconds here and talk about how this game's shaping up. I mean, gold is just about dead even. However, blue team is 13-8 in kills, but they're losing on objectives. Red team has the top tower, and they got the first dragon of the game. So really interesting to see how this gold spread is going to affect the mid game to late game from here on out.
Yeah, I really need this Ziggs to finish an item or two because he'd be really helpful to his team when Steam Fight starts if he has full items and he can just throw that Mega Inferno Bomb for massive damage.
He's sitting on 1,700 gold, so having the Chalice and the Amp Tome in his inventory, he can finish that Chalice, but something tells me that's not what he wants. Something tells me he wants to get that Zhonya's for some reason, which will give him a lot of damage, but it won't give him the cooldown reduction and mana regen that a Chalice would.
Yeah, and as much as I said I love the Wombo Combo team, they're doing a really good job with that Leona engage to just lock them down before they can do anything and get their high mobility assassin champions in there.
Yeah, I mean, we see Canark, he's 2-1-7. He's put in a lot of work. I mean, yes, Kassadin has spent a lot of time around the map with these teleports, and we saw the teleport actually come in really handy with that 4-man gank bot, where he picked up yet another double kill after just roaming to the top lane with a teleport for a double kill. I mean, so just very well played by this Kassadin to affect the map. Game is going to resume. We'll hopefully not see this menu for the rest of the game.
At least not with another Morgana ultimate in our face.
Oh, that was the worst. Spectator, please. And I mean, these Mystic shots are on point. Cassidy's about to lose his tower, though, but Chuba's about to lose his life. Rise finally finishing that Rod of Ages. Finally can start stacking. However, he's very far behind. Teleport gonna come in. However, no one's really there. Bubble gonna miss. A Rise almost goes down. Flash, Explosive Shot, and Rocket Jump all being burned by JC. Really wanted that kill onto a Rise. Some hard feelings there, I'm guessing. Flash out of Chuba, probably not gonna save his life. Void Energy gonna jump in, throw down that Void Sphere. Doesn't pick up the kill. Ignite onto Void Energy. Spike's gonna pick up one there. JC, however, finds himself a Chuba, gets the reset. Doesn't want to go after the Sushi, though. Canark now running away. Spike's going to find him, however, and Arise finds himself a JC. Exhaust going down. Not going to be enough for now. That's going to get the reset. Now JC pops the heal. Has Rocket Jump available. Just going to jump over that wall. Flash from Makoto Senpai. Can Slushy keep him alive? He cannot. How unfortunate. Now Shy Slushy finds himself a wolf and is going to go down also. Really odd to see there. No Rune Prism come out whatsoever from the Rise.
Yeah, I was expecting that to come out immediately when the Flash came out of the Wukong, but I guess he was mad at JC about something.
Yeah, I mean, that really would have saved him. Shield of Daybreak gonna pop the Banshee's Veil. Zenith Blade gonna come out too. Solar Flare gonna land. A good Gnar though. However, Void Energy will not be stopped. Gets stunned up again. Still has mana for Rift Walk. Goes out again. Null Sphere gonna pick up that kill. Big B Wolf gets Flash Zenith Bladed. Lots of damage onto Void Energy, however. A good Satchel Charge, keeping American Flag in the area. A slow misses though. Big B Wolf still gonna pick up that kill with the third proc.
Ouch. Yeah, that Gnar is definitely keeping Purple Team in this game right now.
I mean, yeah, 8-3-0 now. Having that Banshee's Veil is actually super strong. With having Leona engage, a Jarvan engage, Cassidy, like all of these abilities that he can block with that shield, he's going to be able to do a lot of work come these fights.
Well, yeah, if your enemy team has double AT solo laners and you're not Galio, running a Banshee's Veil is like the next best thing you can do.
Yeah, and he doesn't need that Spirit Visage because he doesn't have any innate sustain. He's just going for a full tank build. And I mean, he's already hit 3k health at 25 minutes. It's only going to get bigger from here, considering he hasn't finished a full tank health item. Dragon spawned. Red team's in the area, but blue team knows about it. Even with Canark not here, they could still delay it long enough for red team to get involved. Lots of damage onto Shy Slushy. Big Blue Wolf going for it. Gets the Gnar into the tower. Gets knocked up by Canark. No Flash available. No Ignite. However, eat a house. Rise gonna go down. 1-for-1 trade, and with the jungler in the top lane, red team wants to start this dragon, but this Cassidon's terrifying.
Yeah, not only does Gnar get the kill on the Slushy anyways, he also gets out his Flash and Ignite.
And he didn't even get the kill in the end. It went over to Canark. But having made it back to this bot lane, red team can't afford this fight. Their strongest member isn't here. Demacia Standard gonna give him a bit of vision. Spike eating the explosive shot from the Tristana. And here we see red team starting this dragon with no vision. Makoto Senpai is going really low from this dragon aggro. vVv Wolf dodges the pop-up with his Banshee's Veil. Tidal Wave going to land onto two members. However, Chuba gets caught by the Zenith Blade. Two-man bubble. vVv Wolf not going to pick up that kill onto Shy Slushy. Going to go down. The Cyclone not going to hit anybody. The Buster Shot forces him out of the fight. And now Spike gets sent up by the Shield of Daybreak. Lives a little bit longer with the Arcane Shift. Goes down anyway. Zenith Blade onto a Rise. And that's going to be the reset that JC needs to stay alive.
Yeah, and with Gnar going down, they basically don't have any other damage on their team right now. So it's just a really easy cleanup after Gnar died.
Yeah, I mean, this Ezreal rushing that last Whisper with no real armor threats coming out of blue team, he lost a lot of damage with the percentage armor pen not quite being effective yet. And they're going to lose a lot. I believe they got the dragon, but they get a tower. Super Inferno Bomb, going to clear out those minions for now.
The gold is still about even. Red team is only down by 1,000.
And that's the Dragons keeping them in that game. Towers are even. Kills drastically heading towards that blue team, though. Spice kept a good 20 CS lead on this Tristana, but Tristana's trading away by farming champions.
Yeah, if you take into account the gold you get from champions, Tristana is basically winning right now.
I mean, Tristana's winning anyway. She has 700 gold over him. That's about a Crit Cloak or a Negatron, both which would be super helpful for Ezreal to have. With the addition of the Zhonya's Hourglass onto Kassadin, we can see these Mystic Shots not even doing that much anymore. Knark finds Spike, putting down some good damage. Randuin's going to go out. Chuba hits the Null Sphere and gets healed up by Nami. Cyclone not going to land. Shield of Daybreak's going to stop him for now, and American Flag's not taking any damage with that Eclipse on. They jump onto Shy Slushy. The Boomerang's not going to land. A good Solar Flare lands onto two people. However, the Gnar throws two people also into the tower. JC's going to jump away. Shy Slushy's going to go down. Zhonya's from Chuba's going to keep him alive a little bit longer. However, JC's untouched and just eating through Makoto Senpai. JC's going to pick up that kill onto Wukong, and then Gnar's going to go down to Knark. A good 3-for-1 trade for blue team. Spike going also super low. Goes down, actually. The bubble even landing.
And that's what you said earlier about Gnar not having any kind of armor. Tristana just shred through him all kinds of quick.
And even instead of finishing an armor at him, he finishes that Blade of the Ruined King, wanting to get damage down. But that 3-for-1 cost them a lot. It cost them 2 towers and then an additional kill going over to Kassadin. And it could be 3 towers. With 3 members still down, it could even be this inhibitor. Tidal Wave going to come out. JC doesn't care. He's just going to auto-attack Makoto Senpai. Gets exhausted. Finally decides it's time to leave. Cyclone lands on Knark. Knark's going to flag and drag away and survive. But the burn from the Elder Lizard is going to be enough. And JC going to get away. Arise was afraid to check that bush. Dragon up in a minute and a half. vVv Wolf finds Void Energy, forces the Zhonya's. Bubble not going to land, however, and Rune Prison stops vVv under tower. Now JC's here. The Zenith Blade lands on Chuba. Solar Fire also going to land. Chuba forced the flash. The bubble misses. Super Mega Inferno Bomb misses. Seal of Daybreak onto Arise. This is just going to be cleanup time for Void Energy. Arise knows it. Just going to sit there, take her chops. And Makoto Senpai's going to try and base. with no red wards. That's going to be the Baron, though.
This is looking really bleak for Red Team right now.
Canucks not even in the area, and yet this Baron's going down fairly quick. Ezreal decides to help out a little bit with that Arcane Barrage. True Shot Barrage. Not going to get it, though. And most of blue teams sitting on some fat paydays, at least 1,000 gold for just about every member before that last back. And we see Rise finishes his Frozen Heart, Kassadin getting another needlessly large rod. I mean, just it's starting to stack up against Red Team.
Ezreal finally picks up a Bloodthirster, but I get the feeling it's maybe too late.
Yeah, I mean, he's still getting chunked out by the Kassadin, by the Rise, and the Tristana. No amount of resistances will really save him at this point.
The worst feeling you could ever have as a support is clearing something out and it instantly getting warded.
That's why you buy pink wards, so that they last a little bit longer. Chuba gets found by Void Energy. A fairly good Satchel Charge to keep him alive, though. And looking at this Vision game right now, Red Team's trying to keep in it, but they're just getting pushed away and getting wards cleared out. I mean, they have a relative idea of where Blue Team is, but I don't think it's enough with Baron. And Ziggs being their main wave clear, not in this top lane, it's going to be very hard to defend this tower. Meganar is about to come out. Can they make a play? That ward instantly cleared away. They have to give up this tower. They can't defend it. The knockup lands on a spike, though. Bubble on a Canard. Tidal Wave being forced out also. A good Solar Flare lands directly on a spike, but no follow-up.
And that's because of the pretty decent Nami Wave that came out to completely stop American Flag.
A good bubble onto American Flag. The True Shot Barrage is going to pick up that kill. A two-man Cyclone onto Canard and Kassadin, but that's not enough. Blade of the Ruined King popped by Big B Wolf. Going to stun up Canard a little bit, but JC got away in the nick of time. House just barely lands. JC gonna walk in the opposite direction of that bubble, though. Blue team got a tower, but that's about it. JC's trying to bush bait somebody. He's hoping for that Ziggs, and it looks like he's gonna try. Says just to back off. Red team's trying to pick up this dragon. Canark using the Dragon Strike to pop the Banshee's Veil. The Dragon's going to do a little bit of work to close this gold gap, though. Chuba just gets nuked out, and now Makoto Senpai is in the middle of the enemy team. A good Zenith Blade locks up Makoto Senpai. He's going to go down. With two members down, that's probably going to be game. Blue team with the Tristana could push and finish.
Looks like they're going to wait for the minions and probably just go for the end here. Nar finally picked up a Randuin's Omen, but
it's a little late. Two-shot barrage going to come out, try and clear up as much minions as possible. JC eating lots of damage. Tidal Wave going to miss. Not land on everybody. Canucks going to go down with the Arcane Shift there. A two-man Gnar only stuns up Void Energy, though, who's just going to Rift Walk away. Solar Flare lands directly onto Spike. Zenith Blade does also. Spike goes super duper low. Going to get picked up by Void Energy. GC's sitting untouched in this back line, picking up kills. Shy Slushy going to finish that onto a Rise. Surrender Vote going to come out, though. And that's going to be game 1 of tonight. Very well played.
Very, very well played by that blue team. That Kassadin did a lot of work, and I doubted the teleport at first, but he put it to really good use and had some really nice turnarounds.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there was very many teleports that didn't result in a double kill for his team, and that's what you want to happen when you have a nice snowbally champion, when you have a nice mid lane champion, I guess. I don't know where I was going with that. Taking a look at these endgame stats, the gold actually was a bit of a roller coaster. Blue team had it for the most part of the game. Red team managed to squeak it back in when they got a nice set of objectives, but then blue team just turned it right back around and snowballed it away from them, and there was zero chance once that happened. Looking at the wards placed, you can see that both supports putting in a good amount of effort trying to get the vision down. Even the junglers being fairly even with the amount of wards they put out. I mean, you can't say that red team didn't try to stick in it. It's just very difficult for them once the scaling champions got the gold.
Yeah, and I'm pretty firm in my belief still that Gnar was the only thing keeping purple in as long as they were. He was doing so much work. He even had more total damage champions than the Tristana or the Kassadin did.
Yeah, I mean, he was just taking Shy Slushy to town on that Rise. It's a very difficult matchup for Rise, actually. I'm kind of surprised why he picked into it. That being said, guys, we are going to take a 60-second break while we get ready to set up the next game. We will see you in just a minute.